In this lesson, we'll be exploring different kinds of marks you can make with your charcoal. We'll be using a still life comprised of dried plants as inspiration to create this drawing. For this last lesson, we'll be using sketch paper. This is 18 by 24 inch sketch paper. I'm going to be using a General's Charcoal Pencil HB, but a 2B would be perfectly fine for this lesson. I'm also going to use the Nitram HB charcoal stick. Again, the 2B would be fine. We're also going to be using shorter pieces of charcoal like this. So if you have some laying around, that's what you'll use. If you don't, take one of your charcoal sticks and just break a piece off the end. It doesn't have to be any particular size, but just break a couple pieces off. Before we begin drawing the still life, I'm going to show you some ways you can use your charcoal. So draw along with me to do some experimenting, then we'll draw the still life. We've been using our tools in a pretty straightforward manner, making linear marks, doing a little toning. The charcoal stick, we've done the same thing. But these tools are very versatile. Take this for instance. We can use the whole stick and create an interesting tone. I can use this sharp edge of this Nitram charcoal to create some interesting linear marks. If I make one of those linear marks and pull it down, I can create an interesting mark like that. The edge can be used to create little squares. Charcoal pencil the same. We have our nice linear marks, but I can also hold it perpendicularly to the paper and make little dots. So what I'm doing is pushing the charcoal pencil onto the paper and then twisting it with my fingers. I can hold it on its side and make some nice lines. I can create dark tone by kind of holding it on its side and scraping with it. I can sort of stab the paper. I can flick off the paper, making a dark mark to begin with that kind of goes to a point. Here I'm pressing the charcoal onto the paper, then drawing up and pulling the pencil off the paper. I can take a chunk of charcoal, break a bit off so I have a smaller piece, and make smaller textural marks. I can use the very end of it to make some interesting lines. Here I'm drawing with the piece of charcoal perpendicular on the paper. I can use my finger. You can make an incredible variety of marks with charcoal. Do some experimenting. Try using your charcoal in some different ways. Okay, let's draw the still life. So I'm going to begin with the echinacea, and it feels spiky and hard to me. So I want to create some spiky and hard marks. So I'm going to start with that flick of starting hard and pulling out. From the center out. So I'm starting hard and pulling up. And I'm going to create a couple more of them. I'm not trying to draw the coneflower exactly as it looks. I'm trying to get a feel for the coneflower, the spikiness of it. Our still life is inspiration. It's not what we're not drawing it exactly. Now I'm going to use this short piece of charcoal to make those dried leaves or petals that are coming off the flower. I'm making this mark by drawing with one side of the charcoal flat against the paper. I'm going to use that short piece of charcoal to create some stems here of these plants. I'm holding the broken piece of charcoal stick flat on the paper and then drawing it downward. Now I'm going to look at the plant that has the kind of the dark seed pods. And I'm going to use this piece of charcoal just to create some random dark spots, just to give it that feel of that hard edge. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little stem in that as well. I'm going to bring back that short charcoal and put some of those side stems in. You can see I'm not drawing the plant as it is in life. I'm using the plant as inspiration. I'm going to move to the grass now. So I'm going to try and create that flat feel of those pods that just sort of hang down. I'm using the short charcoal and just creating that drippy sort of feel. Now I'm going to use my charcoal pencil to put a pattern on top of what I've just drawn. Make it a little more interesting. Again, this is inspired by what I'm seeing. It's not copying what I'm seeing. Now I'm going to look at that airy brown weed with the little dots at the end and the light and very delicate stems. And I'm going to use the charcoal pencil for that, and I'm going to just create little circles, light circles that represent that light and airy feel. I'm going to use the same pencil to create some of the stems. And I'm not even worried about connecting the dots up to the stems. I'm just letting it be visually interesting. But I noticed that the plant itself has these wonderful straight sort of lines almost. Create some more of those little circles. Put one of those plants over here. More stem. Now I think I'm going to create some of those really dark points as an added interest in this plant. There's kind of an interesting dried leaf in the still life, so I'm just going to add one with the short charcoal. And all I did with that was draw straight up and then pull it over. So you can make an incredible variety of marks. Have fun. Use something for inspiration. Don't slavishly copy it. Just create some marks. Think about what you're seeing, what the object feels like, and try to draw that as you contemplate its structure. Experiment with your charcoal. Make different marks. Don't worry about creating anything beautiful. Just have fun.